What is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Kev The Coach Experience. This is Kev The Coach, your host. I coach driven nice guys through breakups. I help you rebound your life by discovering your truths, your purpose, building your confidence in your mission, and understanding women and relationships. And you are in the right place if you enjoy self-help, self-improvements in your personal life, your personal relationships. And I'm happy to have you here. If you haven't already, please be sure to follow, subscribe. I'm now doing this on the YouTube channel, and I'm also doing the podcast live too. So I'm trying to do both at once and think what needs to be said and all that. So whatever you can do, if you can review, like, share with someone who hears this, who could use this, that would be amazing. And if you haven't heard, I have a Superior Man program helping you do all the things I just mentioned, helping you feel like a man of abundance, recover from a breakup, kind of recover your intimate life, right? You've just been suffering from kind of emotional confusion, drama-filled relationships. I show you how to kind of bring peace to that area, help you feel like a superior man. So if you want to know more about that, send me a message. And without further ado, let's jump into our episode for today. So once again, this is my first time doing it on YouTube, but for my podcast listeners, you know what's up. I'm doing a Reddit relationship column. This is actually a breakup column. So we're doing breakups, and we're going to give some advice to this person, all right? So it's on Reddit, and our title for today is She Broke Up With Me, Saying She Needs to Work on Herself. So a lot of us who've been listening, they know kind of what's going on here. And let's jump into it. So he writes in, he says, she says she needs time and needs to do this alone. And all I want to do is be there and help, but she has cut me off and says, for the foreseeable future, we can't be together. We had been together for almost 3 years and everyone around me says we're done and I need to walk away and move. I just don't think I can without at least trying to fix what's happened. She said it's not the relationship that was the issue and she just can't be with me. I'm replaying hundreds of scenarios in my head. Please, what do I do? We've never taken a break and hardly ever argued. So, obviously you guys have been listening, you know how I feel about, when a woman walks away, women are a lot like cats. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this reference, but, a cat, when you try to chase a cat to give it some love, it runs right away, right? So what do you do if you want, a cat has to kind of like, it has to feel your energy, it has to like you, it has to kind of like get used to you, right? It'll come like walk around your legs a little bit and start to like you, right? It's a lot like women, right? So if your woman is upset with you, something happened, she's basically, in this case, she's broke it off with you, there's nothing you can really say that's going to change her mind in the present moment. And this is really true for anyone, regardless of gender, just breakups in general. So it's really important right now, man, that you let her take her space. Because the more you put pressure on someone, to like change their mind or do whatever, the more they're just going to keep running the opposite direction. So the one thing you need to do right now is just start to like look at yourself as a high value person. You need to kind of change this perspective that you have about yourself. You can't be chasing, you can't be, running after her. It's gonna make her think and reassure herself that she really is better than you and she needs to be moving on. And it takes a confident, brave, courageous person, to really understand that in relationships, people need independence. It takes bravery if you're whatever age you are and your process with love. It takes time to understand that people need a break from each other. Independent people come together and they make a relationship, but that doesn't take away the fact that they're still individuals inside of a relationship, right? They still have individual needs, wants, desires. And if you come at it from this place, like you become codependent, right? Your value is going to drop in this relationship. She's not going to see you as this man she wants to be with. So it doesn't really matter really what's happened in this relationship. He says that we haven't argued and we've never taken a break, he says. But it doesn't really matter. Right now, you have to focus on, moving forward. So this is really anyone that's going through something like this or has a similar scenario in dating, whatever, you move forward with everything in your power to move forward. It's not going to say that you're not going to have thoughts and feelings racing, because of course, you wish you with that person that ended things with you. It sucks. But the fact of the matter is you have to move forward, because guess what? The best thing you can do to reattract her and reattract potentially the relationship is to move forward. Because what does that action say to her, right? It starts to make her question, like, did I make the right decision? It looks like he is moving on. Something's different about him, like his confidence, his individuality. It doesn't mean I can't speak to whether you guys should be together or not, because it's a short little message here. It's not really a long one like I usually do. But regardless, that's the best thing you can do, whatever. If you want a chance at potentially having an opportunity with her, which I think anyone going through a breakup and you've been broken up with, you typically, your ego is driving you to, have another chance with that person. And I'm not here to be the moral, high ground of telling you whether that's right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you, if that is what you're going to try to do, this is the best way to do it, right? Obviously, no contact. If you've never heard of the no contact rule, that's where you start, no contact. And, you really just move forward with your life. Now, sure, like I said earlier, your thoughts and your feelings might be doing one thing, but your actions, the things you do, need to propel you forward. So when you get back in the gym, you get to really focus on your work, your purpose, right? Get back to really caring about your fulfillment in life, your purpose, your drive. Because those things, when you realize they are the most important in your life, that is what ultimately becomes your relationship, right? Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your purpose. It's amazing to have a loving partner alongside you and with you. But if you don't have that relationship with yourself and your purpose first, it's going to be hard. Relationships and dating are going to be hard, because you're going to be relying on her and that love she gives you. You're going to be dependent on it. And as a man, that's not a good place to come from. You need to, and honestly, anyone, right? You need to generate your own love and your self-love, have a good practice, a good self-love routine. But especially for men, right? When we want to be self-reliant, we want to be masculine, we want to be independent so that we can attract beautiful women. And she's not going to want to be with a guy who doesn't have a really big purpose in life, big mission that he's trying to fulfill, right? So that's my advice to my guy here. It's breakups are never easy. It sounds like she blindsided you, and that's never a fun place to be in. But this is what you got to do. I know it's like you just can't wrap your head around it, and that sucks. Those are the worst. One of the worst emotions to feel is emotional confusion. And when you don't understand what's going on, that can be really hard. So yeah, the best advice to you is just, move forward with all your actions. Even when it's really hard, you don't know why, you can't answer that question, move forward with your actions, right? And, ideally, you'll get an opportunity to at least engage with her again at the very least, right? And maybe you'll have an opportunity to reattract her into your life, and maybe you can have a conversation with her, what happened, right? And maybe if you're so good at it, maybe you can get her back in your life, you guys can date again. Maybe that's a possibility. I'm not going to tell you what's not. It's a really long process, and this video is not going to cover that whole thing. If you want that, maybe put in a comment below, and I can cover a video like that next. But for now, because the breakup process, if you want to reattract an ex, is a long one, and it's a tough road. Anyone that's ever tried to do it, failed, succeeded, whatever, it's a tricky road. And once again, I just want to remind you that it's not something you should have to do. It's a very competitive, ego-driven thing to want to reattract your ex. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very human. It's very human to want to do that. So as much as I say it's this ego and this stuff, it is also human to want to get that validation again. She broke up with me, but I rose to the occasion and I got her back. I get it. That's an amazing feeling, right? It's like getting revenge. I compare it to that. So just remember all of this. Remember all that. It's important to know why you're doing it. And, don't let your ego make you go crazy trying to reattract someone. Because maybe you weren't right for each other. Maybe she was doing you a favor, right? I don't know. But with that, I think I've covered essentially everything you need to do. I hope you enjoyed this episode, this piece of content. Yeah, it's my first YouTube video in a while. I think I started off a little bit rocky, but I'm finishing strong here. So I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, at my podcast, Kev The Coach Experience, you can see from the title, so you can listen to just the audio version. Doesn't matter to me, but if you'd like to chat with me personally, you can reach out to me at coachkevinhiggins@gmail.com, or actually my website should be in the link. You can do a coaching call with me, and we can see what's good, man. But also you should follow me on Instagram at Kev_the coach. Lots of great content there. That is like my main platform, podcast and Instagram, kind of my main platforms here. So, but finally, if you've made it to this point and you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate, or you enjoyed the podcast, I would really appreciate a like, follow, share it with someone, subscribe. All of those things would mean the world to me, because they help this thing get pushed out into the world where someone else can hear this and they're like, damn, I needed to hear that. It's a good feeling, right? And if you're so compelled, you can also donate, link in the bio. But with that, I love y'all. Bye-bye. Peace.